All right, today we're going to talk about Alum Cove.
Alum.
Okay, today we're going to talk about Alum Cove. We're going to talk about the road getting to the trailhead. We'll talk about the trail itself. We'll talk about the parking at the trailhead. We'll talk about the trail getting the feature, and then we'll talk about the features themselves. As well, we'll talk about the gear needed to successfully do this hike. Hey, welcome to our channel. I'm Fred.
I'm Amanda.
And we're with Ozark Experience. Today we're going to tell you about the experiences to have in the Jasper, Arkansas area.
So the road to get to Alum Cove is Highway 7 to Highway 16 and then towards Deer, and then you turn off on what we refer to as Wayton Road. Locally, the actual road number is listed on the map.
8766 is the new road number, or it's also referred to as Highway 327.
It is paved all the way to the trailhead. It's all pavement. You never touch dirt. Even the road down to the parking lot is paved now.
And they just refinished the road, so it's a nice, beautiful, smooth road. You could do it in a lowrider if you wanted to.
Yeah, the parking lot it's a nice big parking lot. There's no water though at this location. It's just one of those porta potties essentially.
Super smelly, but it works if you're in a pinch. It's got a lot of picnic tables there. There's plenty of places to, if you want to bring your lunch or a breakfast or dinner and eat there before or after you hike. There's plenty of good areas, good shaded areas to sit down and enjoy nature. I think when we just went there was deer all over the place. It's kind of neat.
Yeah, you can bring your dogs, and there is some poison ivy in that picnic area. So if you're allergic to that, you might be conscientious of that.
Yeah, just look out for that. So the trail itself, it's a pretty easy trail. I think it's traversed often, so it's not much of a bushwhack, if you will, but it is quite a bit downhill getting there, and then quite a bit of uphill coming back up. It's on the shorter side of things, especially if you just go to the first main bridge, the more photographed natural bridge. It's pretty close, and but it is downhill.
Yeah, and they make the trail meandering, so it's not like you're going down real steep. I mean, you crisscross back and forth.
So the trail getting down the bridge is got a lot of switchbacks, and so you'll see people have kind of made shortcuts to avoid some of the switchbacks. If you make your own path, the problem is the water's gonna wash out the normal path, and it's gonna wash out the side of the mountain. Don't use the cuts. Stay on the switchback, go back and forth. When you see the bridge, there'll be a path to the left. If you take that path to the left right before the bridge, you'll get to the bottom of the bridge. If you continue across the bridge, you'll see a path going down and around. If it was a wet season or it just rained, you'll have a little waterfall on your right. It's kind of beautiful, and then you'll go down, you'll cross a creek, which will have somewhat of a cascading falls, probably if it had just rained. We missed both of those. We went in the summer, late summer. The nice thing about this hike is you don't necessarily have to have water. It's not a waterfall-based hike, so you got a lot of other beautiful things to see there. So it's a good hike to go through if you're in the area and there hasn't been a lot of water. Once you cross the creek, you go back around, you'll see another natural bridge, as well as you'll have a lot of caves. You don't necessarily need a flashlight, but it would be probably a little better. Once you get past the creek, there'll be another natural bridge with a lot of caves and cliff dwellings, if you will. That part of it's a loop. You can continue on and it'll take you to the bottom side of the original, the main natural bridge. And I think the beauty is more on the bottom side of the natural bridge, so it's kind of cool to go over it, but you definitely want to go under it, do that little extra hike going down the mountain. But remember, you got to go back up, so it becomes a moderate hike if you kind of go all the way to the second natural bridge with the caves and stuff, because it's a lot more uphill.
I would try to stay on the main trail because there's a lot of takeoff trails from here that people have done. My daughter and I both went the wrong way. So you'll see it either way. You'll see the full thing and the underside of it either way, but if you want to make a longer hike, then continue to the other side of the creek and see the smaller natural bridge.
And it's a pretty short hike, so even though it's quite a bit downhill, quite a bit uphill, It's on the shorter side of hike, so it's not that bad. And there's a lot of benches. They've put a lot of benches on the way down and back up. And so there's a lot of areas to rest, bring some snacks, some drinks, and you can get it done even if you're not an avid hiker.
And we brought our dogs on this hike. Dogs are allowed, and we brought them, and it was kind of nice on the way back up because they drug us back up the hill.
Especially when they see a deer. If you want to find out what else there is to do around that feature on Cove, then pick up one of these maps from anywhere in Jasper. It's got QR codes that'll link you to the website with directions on how to get there. So just like any QR code, just open up your camera app. So let's say you want to go to Fern Falls here. Go ahead and just scan it, click the button. It'll load the website, and then click here for directions, and then just press start, and it'll tell you how to get there.
And there's several things between Alum, Cove, and Jasper. There's several things to see. There's Fern Falls, Big Creek. There's some spots to do hang gliding. You pass Scenic Point. You pass the Arkansas Grand Canyon. Round Top Mountain is a nice short hike that's paved that you could add to your day on the way back to Jasper. All good things.
Yeah, all good hikes, all good scenic, and especially if you want to, there's some scenic points for the Arkansas Grand Canyon. So if you want to do that hike, then maybe hit lunch at a scenic point. There's a lot of picnic benches as well on the scenic points, so you have lunch and have an amazing view. Or run in at Jasper and get your lunch.
So we've added to our website some suggestions or what we recommend for gear to take on specific hikes. And this Alum Cove hike would have fit in the category of less than 5 miles or a moderate hike less than 2 miles. So what we recommend is from the A list, and it is either bring a friend or a satellite phone.
These phones nowadays, they'll have, you can download like an offline map, and they have GPS, and so it'll show you where you are on your map stuff. So the idea is, this hike isn't really that bad. It's pretty well marked trails, but some hikes that are more of a bushwhack or even are longer, or know yourself. If you like to get off the beaten path, even if you have a friend, you want to make sure you have some offline map that you can use.
So we've added to our site a list of recommended items to bring on hikes.
A free download. We'll have a link in the description as well to get to, so you guys can kind of give you an idea of what you should bring and certain particular hikes.
So it's referred to as the A list. So we recommend that you bring a friend or a satellite phone, a smartphone that has an offline map. You could bring the hiking map. If you're hiking this in the fall, you're gonna actually want to bring water on this hike. We recommend that you actually bring water, not just your life straw. Hiking shoes, emergency whistle. Okay. Some trekking poles. It does have some uphill if you're into that. So this hike does have a little small cave area. So if you want to bring a headlamp or a flashlight, that would be helpful. And the last item is snacks. The hike isn't necessarily long enough to bring a meal, but snacks would be nice probably. We also added a list of items that we felt like you should keep in your car, and this path was kind of narrow, so bug spray, and it was mostly sheltered, so I'm not sure you would need sunscreen, but it's always recommended, I guess, if you're out in the sun.
Yeah, so download our list. We'll have a link in the description or on the, I don't even know. We'll have a list in the description to download that free hiking checklist. Check out all the steps to keep in your car, all the things like sunscreen or
bug spray, emergency blanket.
Or you can get, things like dish soap. If you get poison ivy, pretty easy. There is poison ivy on this trail. Make sure you have dish soap in your car. Wash off afterwards. At least that's what I like to do, because I get poison ivy. Actually, in fact, I got a little bit of poison ivy from this last weekend. And check out the video of the walkthrough we did. So if you're curious about what the trail actually looks like, it's a great tool to know whether or not you want to do the trail. All right, thanks for watching our video. If you liked our video or you think it might be helpful to someone else, would you hit the subscribe button, like, and alert, share it with your buddies so other people can find it and know what to expect on this trail.